It's your boy Zap King, the Giant Robots. This is your tactical forecast for April 2025. No pranks were played on this day. If you're new here, I thank you for watching. I'm expecting a lot of new traffic, what with recent announcements. That said, this is the update video, both update and recap for what has come and what is to come on the channel, as far as content is related. Previously, in March, I was double sick. I got a stomach virus from ice at the movie theater during the G-Quux movie. I was fine during the movie. Excellent, lucky, go me. But it was, of course, later on in the evening, into the next night, and the day after. Oh, just stomach virus. I was ruined. I was knocked down so much so that it actually messed up a recording session or two with Bird and I taking care of Super Robot Wars 30. But it was not one singular day that I had of good health that I got a cold that, I don't know what it was, but it was all just a throat cold. I spent about 3 or 4 days being unable to talk properly. Like a couple of those days, even at work, I was just unable to raise my voice above this, which you can hear in some of the earlier episodes of Monster Hunter Wilds. But, you know, here we are, finally, recording this at the end of March, approaching April, that I am in proper and good health, and everything is back to normal. I need to move my notes over to be closer to working on the screen. So here, we will talk about the schedule now. After we, we're gonna move these down in the queue. That way, that'll be in its proper section. Alright, so, the schedule, as you do, at the end of February. Fuck, February? What? I'm in a time warp now? I went from stomach cold to throat cold to brain cold? At the end of March, we had to take a brief detour into Super Robot Wars Impact because it's easier for me to read than it is for me to voice act when I can't pitch my voice upward for the ladies. But that was fun to go back to. Something that I will, as I said in last update, try to do so more frequently, and that might be able to actually come more frequently given the flow of April. Later today, we will take a detour with another of the What Is series, which is when I take a look at a game, maybe I'm going to like it, maybe I won't, or maybe I just need to put hands on it because it's the Giant Robots fighting game, Iron Saga Versus, featuring, Go Nagai products such as Mazinger and Getter, and my favorite, Daniel Cougar. It's fight game. It's very basic and simple. It's not like Street Fighter levels are complicated, but it's fight game. It's not for me. We do at least check out the arcade mode for Dan Kuga and try to go through a bit of training modes. It's decent. If you're into fighting games and Super Giant Robots, get the fuck in there. As is tradition, every day at noon, Monday through Thursday, we will continue playing Super Robot Wars Original Generation 2. The last episode is slated to end on the 22nd, barring any health interruptions. As such, once that is over, we will immediately swap over into Suikoden Remaster, or Suikoden R for Rude. As was what I had done in one of my first Let's Plays. I think it's literally my second one, playing Suikoden 2 with a few mods to fix it up. I did a run that was not a 108 stars run. It was not a speed run. It was not a low percent run. It was just me being rude, being picky and choosy about what characters I grab, and just being a jerk at every possible given turn. We're going to do this. What was once the legend of Rude Boy will now be the origins of Rude Dude. It won't be Turd McDowell, it'll be Rude Dude McDowell doing stuff at noon every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll do a bit more of Tactics Ogre Reborn, which will wrap up at episode 90 on the 12th. Like, when I'm playing the game, I'm kind of enjoying it. But then when I'm not playing the game, I'm looking at how much there is to do just to hit credits again. And just to do a route different from the last time. And it's just way too much. And it's not fun. Like, as much as there is stuff I still wanted to actually accomplish in Tactics Ogre, I'm pretty much over it at this point. Like, I wanted to get a Lich the right way, and I wanted to get an Angel unit, but to get to that point is just so entirely not worth the time it takes to get there. Like, had I gone to try to do that stuff on my first run before I pulled credits, maybe it would have been worth it. But where we left off, I had done a side quest to unlock 6 temples, and I had to go through 6 fights. And okay, we did all the stuff to get those done. And we started, like, we hit the trigger to actually begin those side quests. And when I flipped through my old strategy guide, the Ancient Tome, each temple is a 6-floor dungeon followed by a boss that's going to be on par with the final boss. I'm not into that. I'm not here for spending 2 to 3 episodes on one temple, do it 6 times over, just for a chance at better magic, a chance at better equipment. Like, the drops, to the best of my abilities, are not guaranteed to happen. You're not guaranteed to get, you know, a higher tier water spell. You're not guaranteed to get a codex to craft higher tier axes or swords or spears. It's a chance to get them. Just like all the high tier stuff is a chance to drop in the Palace of the Dead. And I don't have time for that shit. There are other games on the table. There are other games in the world. There are other games forthcoming. I don't have time to waste with any more Tactics Ogre. Maybe one day, and I will continue to keep the last 10 episodes and thumbnails on my computer as a grim reminder that maybe one day we will come back to it. But I think we Gucci. That said, with the end after episode 90 of Tactics Ogre Reborn, we're revisiting another game, but at least this one has a tangible and visible ending. 2 of the 3 DLCs for Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes have released. I have, as of now, recorded the first episode of the Marissa DLC, and it is executed strangely. This is my... what's the term that I'm looking for? The thing where you put a preface and a warning for somebody. This is my announcement. my warning announcement, my preface. I don't know. I'm the proper noun is not in my word. The proper verb. Basically, go and upgrade and fully kit out all of the characters that you think are supposed to be going on that DLC. Because once you're in, you have to complete the entire thing. And should you choose to withdraw, you have to start the DLC all over. Which is, like, dumb? Why can't you go in, realize, oh, I need to kit up my characters, go to a store that you can only access through main game, and then go back into the DLC where you left off. Either it was that is poorly implemented, poorly explained, or you can and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing yet. Oh. Tangents aside, I believe by the time that I finish Sane's DLC campaign, the third for Marcus should be out. And we'll just go through and get it. Every odd-numbered day at 3 p.m., Monster Hunter Wilds. The very unusual case of my stream bots. There will be times when I just want to play it, like, let me go and hunt low-tier monsters to get parts, to get part drops, just to fill out the low-tier equipment. And then there's going to be times when I've got an hour and a half or two, whatever, to play with Bird and Pariah and a bunch of other people that, you know, I've come to associate and engage with through Monster Hunter alone. If I'm not going to record the stuff where I'm not going to do any kind of story stuff or stuff with friends, I will record the longer sessions with friends, obviously. Whenever new DLC drops or I hit another story mission, obviously. But I've hit a point, as of recording, where I don't know if there's any more story stuff until the DLC drops, I think later this month, as early as the 4th. I don't have my finger on the pulse on Monster Hunter. I'll let everybody else, you know, just hit me with the feedback. Be like, yo, new DLC just dropped, let's go do it. On even number days at 3 p.m., we have the continuation, the ending of the recordings from Shadow Hearts 2, Covenant, myself and Flightless Bird playing through that. The final episode drops on the 10th. And, like, given my free time and availability, one of two things will happen. I'll see if I can't record some Super Robot Wars Impact, which is the hardest thing to do. For now. Or Saga Frontier 2. We'll get to that in a minute. And then lastly, every Tuesday at 12:15, we have the YouTube Shorts. Just, you know, a minute of whatever wacky and wild stuff just so happens to have happened while playing a video game. You know, and apparently the shorts are good for the algorithm. If I go looking at... yeah. Like, the shorts, because it's just a minute, it's bite-sized, and I try to keep up with the relevant episodes. The shorts for... Royal Heartbreaker has gotten more views than the episode that Royal Heartbreaker happened. Okay, that short's not doing very well at all, but whatever. Oops. One of the shorts for Shadow Hearts 2, where I have to do the 10 consecutive rings, 406 views. And that episode, what episode is that? Episode 51. Let's go to the tube. Shadow Hearts episode 51 has 3 views. But I'm not here for the views. As much as big number makes me feel good because that means I'm doing good content and I'm working hard at what I do, that doesn't mean everyone's going to be watching. And then gaming with friends every Saturday and almost every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Myself and Flightless Bird will be playing Super Robot Wars 30. We'll be streaming that on my channel at twitch.tv/ace_zappa. You can find that link in the description below. And I believe I also have a link to Flightless Bird's channel, where if you are not available to watch the stream live, you can watch the VODs on his channel where everything will be going. We did a sort of goofy game show episode 0 thing where I tested Bird on trying to identify the robots in the key art with absolutely zero context whatsoever. You did relatively well, given that it was just a guessing game with the pictures in a word bank. Episode 1 has already dropped as of day of recording, so I fathom by today, episode 2, maybe episode 3 should be available on Flightless Bird's channel. I think finally Thursdays at 7 a.m. and I'm just going to use this as a temporary fixture. Myself and Steve of Super Retro Theater should be getting back into recording together, streaming something together. I think this past Thursday he was good to go other than having stuff to do with his car. So we should be back at it relatively shortly. My hopes is that we can get to whatever mystery game he had planned and it is good and he enjoys it. And if that happens to fall through, we will either switch to another game on that list, or we will... It's been like 2 months, so we can probably get back into Satisfactory. We haven't touched it since before I moved, sometime in January. So it has been a hefty break, but it is also still a daunting task to go forth into getting that progress done. And now we reach the part of the episode where we just talk about what's going on. Nintendo Direct recently dropped. It was during myself getting a Gundam tattoo, a G-Savior tattoo, that I had learned, and I need to go through my wish list on Steam to find it. There was a game that got my attention. And I just don't think it exists yet, so it might be on a weird, like, super low part of... Ratatan. Not sure if it's the original devs or not, but Ratatan is basically... the spiritual successor, probably not the same developer, but a spiritual successor to Patapon. And then in the Nintendo Direct, they announced Patapon 1 and 2. Yeah, Patapon 1+2 replay. And, yo, I was just so happy to hear about that shit. That's hype. Maybe we will play that one day. That might just get left into the void of a what is. And then, on my list of games, the games from the Wheel of Indecisiveness, Saga Frontier 2 had come up as something that I would aim to play this year, barring that I get through that far on the list. But then Saga Frontier 2 Remake just stealth dropped out of nowhere. What the fuck? So, after we finish Ayuden Chronicles DLC, or once I'm only recording Suikoden and Ayuden Chronicle, which will allot me more time to have to myself because Super Robot Wars episodes can take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, and I only record about an hour of each when it comes to RPGs. Maybe we'll get into Saga Frontier 2 this week? Not this week, this month? And then I guess, the really big announcement for me was I dropped the ball watching the Japanese Nintendo Direct trailer for Super Robot Wars Y, because all of my emotion and reaction went into that. All of my squealing and huffing and puffing and crying and being excited went into that. And when the full-size trailer dropped, those same emotions did not happen again, because they didn't announce anything new that I didn't already see. Like, that sucks, man. Like, I wasted all of my reaction on something that I didn't think was going... That I thought that was going to be... We get the 1 minute announcement, and then I went to the Akarasu Discord, and I was like, oh man, when do we get the full trailer? 1, 2, 3 messages later, because we're all going off. And there goes the link for the full-size trailer, and it's just an elaboration of everything that was already shown. It makes me feel bad. But at the same time, that's like so weird to drop the PV and not announce everything that's in the game. That's so weird. But at least thus far, the popular hearsay that's going on is that even though they didn't put the PV in the English YouTube Direct, this is actually getting like a regular ass worldwide console and PC release. It's not just Super Robot Wars 30 in English in America. It's in English on PC and Switch and PS5. Now, unfortunately, it's going to look like that I won't be able to get any of the premium editions without having to get them like secondhand market. Unless y'all know, I don't know of anywhere where I can pre-order the limited editions that come with all the cool shit and ship it to me in America. Then again, the risky part at the same time is when that releases, will I be at the same address? So maybe it's for the better that I have to wait. I mean, that's how I got my complete box for 30, and that shit's still wrapped like someone bought it from the store. And that's obviously what's going to happen. Someone's going to go into the store, they're going to buy 2 or 3 copies, and it's either going to sit on the shelf or they're going to resell it for a higher value, and an American collector like me is going to shovel out for it. This is fine. This is fine. This is what I expect. This time I didn't quite script the recovery. I didn't script this, but I at least wrote down notes for once. So the last bit is that I will be on vacation from the 15th to the 21st. This is deliberately including WrestleMania weekend. So there is a high probability that me and the boys will finally get back into Archipelago this year. Just the timing of everything between poor health and me moving, I think we can finally get back to it. Me, Stab, and Bring is Stab. Me, Steve, and Stab. Maybe we can get Bird in here. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure our next plan is to do a very confusing SMZ3. Like triple SMZ3 all the way. And Stab had once mentioned something about playing it in such a way that we will be playing on the same map at the same time. So like my link and his link and Steve's link could be on the same screen at the same time. But our equipment stuff might be different. I don't know. We'll get more data out of him, and we'll see if we can't set that up to be more fun and interesting. Otherwise, you know, we'll just do what we've always done. Alright. So, let us, here at the end, run back the schedule one more time. Coming later today, what is Iron Saga Versus at noon? Followed by every Monday through Thursday at noon, Super Robot Wars OG2, slated to wrap up on the 22nd. Will be immediately followed up by Suikoden 1 Remaster, where we play a very rude, picky, and choosy whatever number of stars I get. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at noon, Tactics Ogre Reborn until the 12th. Wherein we hit the Ayuden Chronicle DLC until that is wrapped up. Which, whenever that is, that's going to... Saga Frontier 2 takes over. Every even numbered day, you know, 1st, 3rd, 5th, that's not even. Every odd numbered day at 3 p.m., VODs and recordings of Monster Hunter Wilds with friends. Every even numbered day, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, literally stopping on the 10th, not the 12th, lol. The last episodes of Shadow Hearts 2 Covenant, thus leaving a gap in the schedule where something like Robot Wars Impact or Saga Frontier 2 may take that slot as a temporary notion. Every Thursday at 7 a.m. Ideally, myself and Super Retro Theater will be streaming / recording something. Every Saturday and Sunday morning at 10 a.m. myself and a Flightless Bird are playing Super Robot Wars 30. If you wish to catch us live, catch me live at random days or at the aforementioned scheduled times, it is twitch.tv/ace_zappa. Subscribe there. Subscribers and followers make numbers go up, and number up make me happy. Same thing here on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit views, put stuff on repeat, watch it 2 or 3 times. Tell your friends and like-minded associates who may like giant robots or retro games that, you know, there's this cool robot-headed dude playing, you know, a cool video game, and he works hard to do voice acting and reading and covering all of the things because he refuses to play stuff blinded. He wants to get all the things one time through, one and done, with various levels of emotion. I thank y'all for watching. Continue to help me make number go up. Let us shoot for 900 by the end of the year. That would be neat. And it doesn't need to be said, but I will make it obvious and stated here and every month until it's out. When the demo drops, Robot Wars Y will be here. When the game drops, Robot Wars Y will be here. Whenever the next PVs drop, if that's PV 2, 3, 4, DLC 1, DLC 2, DLC 15, I will do my best to more appropriately react so you can see a grown man cry on camera about robots. I thank y'all for watching. Good night, Space Knights.
Cultivates the mind, the spirit, and the soul, and we must always cultivate